A Peach Cobbler Mystery is an okay film. This is the third Murder, She Baked film. I will point out that I kind of watched them in the wrong order. I watched A Deadly Recipe before this one for some reason. I don't know why, but it didn't affect anything, and I was able to watch this without knowing too much about it, and it's okay. This was released in 2016. It's directed by Kristoffer Tabori, written by Teena based on the story by Joanne Fluke, and of course we have a cast including Alison Sweeney as Hannah and Cameron Mathison as Mike. And this one is actually really interesting. As a concept, very interesting. The execution, it's a little bit slow, but the good bits are really good. And I won't say how it concludes, but I will say I was satisfied with where it went. I found it to ultimately be a really enjoyable experience. Hannah finds another dead body, and I have to say, several people, when they found out, were like, again? Because, of course, who finds that many dead bodies if they're not working in law enforcement or something? So I rather like the fact that the film was a little self-aware with how ludicrous it is. I love Hallmark mysteries, but it's so ridiculous that these amateur sleuths find so many dead bodies, and I found some amusement in the fact that the characters also thought this was a bit ridiculous, but I quite enjoy it. And it turns out that the person she's found, this is Melanie Quinn, is actually the owner of a rival bakery. So obviously fingers are pointing at Hannah. Not only did she find the body, but she has a strong motive. And well, I won't say how the peach cobbler comes into it, but I quite enjoyed that part of it, and it made me want peach cobbler, even though I've never had peach cobbler, and I don't really like peaches. Well, I don't mind peaches themselves, but I don't like things that taste of peach. I don't like artificial peach taste. So, I don't know, I guess it's a good thing that it made me want to eat something I've never even had before. And as a story, I was interested to find out who was responsible and what had happened. The overarching narrative I really enjoyed. It is very slow, though. It is very, very slow. There's a lot of fluff, and some of that fluff is world building. Obviously, because this is part of a series, with each film, we're meant to get to know Hannah a little bit more as a person, get to know her family and friends a bit more. So some of the fluff adds to that, if not to the main narrative itself. If you were watching this for the first time, though, and you had no knowledge of Hannah as a character, or let's say you didn't know this was part of a series, then there would be a few scenes in this that would just seem really pointless, really slow. So depending on what you're looking for, whether you're looking for just a good, well-executed narrative, or you're looking for something where you can become part of the whole series and part of this little world that they're creating, I think it would be a very different experience. I'm not as invested with this one as I have been with previous, and I think that's probably just down to bias. I absolutely love Aurora Teagarden, because I'm a huge Candace Cameron fan, but I also love Aurora Teagarden as a character. So I was very heavily invested in, I guess, the fluff there, the padding to the main narratives, because I was invested in Aurora's world outside of the mystery. A similar experience with Garage Sale Mysteries, because I love Lori Loughlin. With some of the others, it could go either way with some of the other Hallmark mysteries. Some of them I found the fluff to be really boring. Some of it I actually haven't found to be that bad and I've actually enjoyed. So I guess the point there is that some of the slow elements might be okay depending on what you're looking for. But the mystery itself, I really enjoyed. And the good scenes were very, very well done. And ultimately, I thought A Peach Cobbler Mystery was a really good film. I only have one left. I have Just Desserts. And at the time of recording, the Sweet Revenge Hannah Swanson Mystery, the first film in the next batch, I can't find it anywhere. I think it's ridiculously expensive for one DVD, like £20 or something. So I'm going to hold off watching those, but I will look forward to watching the last Murder, She Baked film, and we'll see what happens after that. But for now, I'm pleased to say that A Peach Cobbler Mystery was a decent story. Definitely quite slow, but maybe if I were more emotionally invested in Hannah's story, that might be a different experience. So I'm willing to admit that for some people it might not be as slow depending on what you're looking to get out of it. But the narrative itself, the mystery itself, very well done. Made me hungry for peach, even though I don't really like peach. And ultimately, it was not a bad experience. And I'm looking forward to watching Just Desserts.